Okay, so once again, welcome to what I would like to say the glorious island of Tenerife. It is Thursday, the 17th of April, and we have actually got protests on outside of some of the hotels here on the island. I'm going to turn the camera in a second and just show you some of the peaceful protests, I would say. Obviously, the staff here on the island are really feeling the pressure in way of what they are being paid salary-wise in relation to what obviously the island is bringing in way of tourism. So again, they have got what many would support a strong argument in the fact that the conditions of pay, for example, due to the fact that they are doing so much in way of, again, upholding the standards of the island to an exceptional standard. Again, when you go around the island and you speak to people that come here who are staying at the hotels on the island, they always have a fantastic time here. One could argue that they should be paid more. There's obviously been the argument as well about the issue in way of actual housing as well on the island for locals and residents here, in that they haven't got the places where they can obviously live that are within the locality of the actual establishments where they actually work. Again, I'm trying to think and speak at the same time. It's quite a difficult one because the noise is obviously very, very loud. There are not many that are here. It's still very early in the morning. It's only around about 9:15 from when I last looked at my actual watch. Lots of people are going out for the day. Sign Park, buses just gone past me. But again, peaceful protests, pure and simply about the terms and conditions of pay and the fact that they are bringing in so much to the island, but again, they're not being recompensed in way of their salary. Again, a strong argument that many wouldn't argue against. Let me just turn the camera in and just give you a bit of a picture of what's going on here. I'll turn it around, just take a little look. Again, not many of them here, but I am thinking as the day unfolds, there'll be plenty more staff that will take to the streets around the island, the glorious island of Tenerife. Let me just turn the camera around. So you can see there now, you've got the Iberostar Bougainville player, the 4-star Iberostar Bougainville player, and then you've got the people, some of the staff at the front. Again, there's not many, but they're making an hell of a racket to obviously make sure that people who are staying in the area. Over the far side, you've got a number of very, very popular restaurants, bars, the Pheasant Plucker, again a mouthful, Bravo restaurant, Rossini's, and obviously all the way down to the far end there, Starbar and so forth. I'll just turn around to this side. You've got obviously the little choo-choo train that goes around the island, and all of the vehicles, the taxis and so forth that are coming past, as well as the cars. And this staff here, by the way, the Hotel Los Hibiscus, next door to the Iberostar. You can just see it there, the hotel. So these will be connected to this particular hotel. And just show you the signs here now. There you go, Committee Hotel Hibiscus, Un Defensa del Derechos Laborales, San Lucio Nahie Recompensa. Let's just get up and close. My apologies in way of my Spanish. I don't speak fluent Spanish. It's one thing that I do want to learn, and I will do in the future. But yeah, I mean, I think some people are against this. I've just seen a sign there, and I'll try and read it on some of the staff cars as I was walking up, where obviously some people are trying to say, listen, don't do this. But at the end of the day, as I've just said, many people's a gentleman there having a chat with them what's pulling at the hotel. I would imagine he's potentially a boss or a manager saying, listen, disperse. This is not good, move away. Again, for me personally, these staff here obviously feel the necessity to come out and to really, again, I'm putting the microphone up to my mouth just in case you can't hear me, but they obviously feel the necessity to come out and to voice their opinion or to make a noise, because ultimately, again, they need to be, as it says there, they need to be recompensed, don't they, for their services to the industry. Now, over the years, I've worked in certain sectors myself, and I know for a fact that these kind of services here now, they're a tough old environment to work in if one doesn't feel valued. It's really, really important. My background obviously is from a sporting background in way of playing rugby, but I also was a manager for many, many years in the sports sector in way of the gym and the fitness industry. Again, and a lot of places to add on to that I was involved with, had hotels connected, for example, and the service industry in general is a very, very difficult place to operate if you don't feel valued. Look after the foundations of your staff and build upon it, because ultimately, again, all the buzzes are beeping going past, because ultimately, if you don't feel valued, the core foundations of your establishment are these people here that put in all the time, all of the effort to bring to the fore what the tourists who come to the island actually want, which is a great service. These people provide it day in and day out, and therefore with that in mind, they deserve the salary that supports their work ethic. I'm sure that makes sense. I hope you can hear what I've just said then. Very, very important that. These people are not here to cause an issue with the people who are on holiday, but it's their way of saying, listen, enough's enough. Do the right thing. Anyway, that's enough for me. Turn the camera back around again. Everybody beeping, supporting it. I'm going to take you over the road actually whilst I'm here. Let's go and have a little walk around, see what else is going on. Why not? Which is gratis, thank you. So again, I'm over the other side of the road now, just give you a look at what's happening. Gentlemen, they're in the road. Everybody's beeping and supporting it. Tourists, holiday makers are coming out of the All Sun Hotel Los Hibiscus. Again, that is a 4-star, akin to the Ibis there, the Bougainville player. They're coming out of the hotel this morning, and then they're seeing this at the front. I am sure, by the way, that lots of the residents, in way of holiday makers, should I say, those who are taking up a room here at this moment in time, will have been, let's just say, informed prior to this happening. There were plenty, by the way. We went for a meal yesterday evening, and on the way out of the actual restaurant up the road here now, there were literally lots and lots of, all over the floor, leaflets, people throwing them out of the vehicles, essentially saying that this was going to happen, basically. Just giving people who are touristy on the island some clarity and way of what is happening. I only had a very brief look at that. I will have another little look at the actual, I kept hold of it, I put it in my pocket to read it, thinking that this wasn't going to happen today. There's no particular date in it, I don't think. But yeah, it's really, really interesting, because obviously we're coming up now. It is again the 17th of April, Thursday the 17th of April 2025. Lots of holiday makers are just arriving on the island for Easter. Some have already been and gone, but there is aplenty. This island at this moment in time is absolutely teeming with holiday makers. There are so many of them. We went to Sime Park the other day, absolutely packed. It was more busier at Sime Park the other day than what it was, or what I believe it's been when we've been at summertime. So yeah, the island in general, all the way around, restaurants and everything. I have no doubt, I was on about this to Mrs. G, that the hotels are absolutely rammed. Anyway, let me turn the camera back round again. Lots of people coming in on the coaches now to obviously start their holidays. It was at Embassies today evening, the restaurant just up the road here. And when we came out to the actual restaurant, there was a car going past, literally throwing flyers out, again informing tourists, because the actual leaflet was in English, about these protests basically, are just again informing tourists who are coming to the island what is happening here on the island for those that are working here basically. But anyway, that just gives you a bit of an insight. These people, you know, are not causing any major issues, in my opinion. They've got a right to voice their opinion. Potentially, will it impact the service industry here on the island? Again, this is just one day out of maybe many over the Easter break, I'm not overly sure. But will it impact? Looking at the numbers, they're not a massive amount. It looks to be an organised protest in way of the numbers, and therefore I'd imagine inside it's not being affected. I'm looking at the cars within the actual hotels, and the car park still looks very, very busy. Again, lots of them will be obviously hire cars, but in general you can see the staff car parks here, they're still very full. They've got security on actually as well walking around, and I do believe on the inside there will be plenty of staff that have turned up to work today. And with that in mind, I do not believe that the actual service within the actual hotels themselves will be affected. But potentially, there may be a slight delay in service in some respects. I'm not overly sure. Again, it's very, very difficult to tell. Not a great deal of numbers. I'm guessing these protests will be happening at other hotels further down the front line and set back obviously up to Los Cris, possibly Costa Rica. Possibly Costa Rica. Sorry, there's lots of people coming this way now. I'm just moving to one side. So yeah, up the front line potentially, Las Americas set back, Los Cristianos, Costa Rica, Calasavat, and potentially again, if you're staying there, drop me a message down below. Have you seen these protests take place? This morning, maybe, which again is the 17th of April, Thursday the 17th of April 2025. Again, I'm very, very sorry for the slight delay in conversation there, but I'll turn the camera around. There's lots of people going out. They're going shopping at the Mercadona, just down the road here, and the shopping precinct that many people are familiar with. So the San Eugenio shopping centre is just down the road there. You can see lots of people making their way down now to pick up a few bits and bobs, getting some breakfast within the actual establishments down there. Coffee shops and so forth, little restaurants and bars, what will be open now. And all the buses, by the way, just to give you a point of reference where we are, lots of the buses here you can pick up, take you to certain points of interest, Sime Park, so forth, which is just up the road, by the way. Aqualand, the opposite direction. Laura Park buses pick up here as well. So again, this area attracts a lot of people throughout the day. That's what I'm getting at. So all of these bus stops at the back here, what you can see, the bus stops are where people are waiting. They are not just pick-up points to take you to areas around here that are adjacent to the hotels that you can see, you know, but to take you to lots again of the points of interest for days out. Again, Laura Park, Siam Mall, Siam Park, lots of different places. Aqualand again up the other side. So yes, got lots of bus stops here. So throughout the day now, if this continues on now, all these people will see this. So there doesn't need to be, I suppose, a massive gathering. I do feel for the people on the island who are really, really struggling, because it's been vocalised and advertised, by the way, throughout the world, obviously, we see the media attention back at home. Every time you put the internet on, it's constantly about Tenerife. We don't want mass tourism, English stay away, all this kind of things, which is not the case. Listen, these people don't want tourists not to come to the island, because tourism is what puts money into the island, it boosts the economy, and it does what it needs to do. But going away from the matter ever so slightly, because obviously this is on about the terms and conditions of the pay. When you're talking about the residential lack of housing and so forth, all these people want is houses that are affordable within relatively close proximity to where they actually work, again, which is really, really important, isn't it? Some of these people can't afford to live in this area or live in the surrounding areas because they can't get into work. Now, these are obviously tourist areas, and with that in mind, the people that stay here are going to be people who are staying in the hotels. There's very few residential complexes here on the island in way of this particular spot. So it's not these areas that they're on about. They're not talking about the areas where tourists obviously mass gather, or they come into the island, should we say. They're on about further afield houses. It's only a small island, but there is space to build, and there are buildings that are being built, by the way, but there needs to be more of. So again, they're not wanting people not to come to the island, so don't be put off with some of the ludicrous claims that you see on social media, press coverage and so forth. It's absolute rubbish. You get nothing apart from a smile, pleasant service, and them doing what they can do to make your time here on the island a happy one whilst you're here, obviously enjoying your holidays. Anyway, that's enough from me, and I'm going to say it on the glorious island of Tenerife, Thursday the 17th of April. Take care for now, and until the next time, my friends, I'll catch you on the next one very, very soon. Take care. There we go, there's a flag outside of the Bougainville player.